I haven't seen you. Hi, Hubert.
Hi.
Good. I'm very careful with the screen share thing. I'm actually don't dare to button something, but no worries. Good. Verina's wish, a great one, was about programming. Dani is also here. Hi. So this is the second sheet. Yeah, you survived Europe. Great. Tell us later. David is with us. Fantastic. So, okay, the most difficult topic after understanding what natural ground movements or the whole human movement restoration is, what it is about, I think the next and final hurdle is understanding how to build programs out of this infinity. And this is what I would like to start. And my idea was I have just a Google Word document because this was the only one I could start scratching something. And then we make something like a whiteboard scratchy thingy. So do you see my whiteboard? Can you tell it? No. Ah, yeah. This is why I have to share the screen with the choice of a specific Chrome tab. Yeah, that's it. Good. So you see just the document. I see you on the side, and this is why you don't have to shout. You can also just lift your hand or whatever. And then let's go for some. Anybody already a definite question on it?
Maybe since I raised the topic, like it's not a question. It's more like you said, the infinity of choices. I think this is sort of the trouble, because from what I've seen so far from the programs that you do and from the learning material that we have, that's sort of like the ideal world. You have a group or you have one client and they stay with you for X amount of weeks or X amount of training sessions. But the reality, you oftentimes groups and people surf in and out of these groups. So how can you sort of kind of manage to create a progress in the group, but also always have like this surfing in and out people integrated without, I don't know, being like too far into something, so like they don't have the chance to actually keep track with the skills that in the current session we are teaching with them. That's like the one part why I raised this topic, and the other is in general, like no matter if it's like a fixed group or not, very specific to my use case, like working with the skaters, what they need is something quick and dirty, so to say. So they want mostly something for the warm-up, something whatever, 15-minute, maximum 20 minutes, that they can easily do in the skate park. Ideally, they don't need to check the video or bring any material, or I mean, like, I've been hanging out with them in the skate park, so there's actually a lot of things that you can use and reuse, or like they use it for skating, I used it for balancing, but rather create things that are very compact and very sort of easy to understand, and once you got it, they can do it themselves, kind of thing.
Okay, great. Does this 3 questions about sum it up what you were asking me? When you see 3 questions?
Yep. But also like this individual versus group trainings, like this specific kind of thing, people surfing in and out. So like people are not constantly like they are not showing up every week.
Oh yeah, okay. So that's normal outdoor class where people buy 10 times part or
That's
something.
also like studio or whatever, especially with I don't know if urban sports club is a thing in other countries, but there might be similar things that people sign up with a provider and they pay basically nothing, which is from a client point of view amazing. For a teacher's point of view, it's you don't get much money, but the majority of the groups are coming via these subscription providers. And yeah, some people are coming regularly, others are like coming once a month or once it works for them, and some show up regularly, some show up once and never again. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Got it. Good that I have some life experience. So I know this quite good for the outdoor classes we did in Munich.
Same.
Several years. Okay. Some more questions that are missing here. Just get a Ivan. Collection.
Can we also establish some guidelines for programming for the ideal situation where there is a group of people and they're regulars and they don't miss a session?
Okay, so it would be something like just not an individual that is showing up regularly because he has a problem, but a whole group that shows up regularly.
Yes.
So yeah, okay. I think that's about the same here. Individual versus group trainings. Okay, this is this. Let's say we have we have group trainings. And we have individual or group training on specific topics. So like it's a spine group, for example, right? And you also want to have a program that is matching the whole group, which makes a bit more complex. Let's say you have one person with a specific spine problem. You do the exercises exactly for him. You have a group with the topic of spine problems. It can be a lot of different spine problems, but you want to cover them anyway, right? About this question. So there are free groups, open groups. This is something like Verena maybe is also talking about, where you cannot fix a program because you don't know who shows up, and also you're not sure whether you can access this or that environment. And this is the high expertise. It's called threshold planning. You know, I think there's no English word for it. It's a German joke. It's a running gag. Threshold pedagogy, it's called. It means you have no idea what to do today. You don't prepare anything. You just enter the room where the people are waiting for you, and in the moment you see the people, how much they are, what quality, what quantity, what individuals you know maybe already, and in this moment you have to design the program. Maybe you have 5-10 minutes for the warm-up where you can still think about it. But in the end, you are a white sheet of paper, and then you write it on and deliver it to the people. And this is something where you need a lot of experience and a lot of repertoire in yourself that you immediately know what to do. And this is not that difficult, because if you are structuring a training really, like let's say we have a warm-up part, we have a main part, and we have a cool-down part. This is already something, okay. 60 minutes, 50 minutes warm up, 30 minutes main part, 50 minutes cool down. Your first structure. Yeah. During the warm up, you can think about the main part. During the main part, you can think about the cool down. You always have a bit of a buffer zone. And then it gets deeper. That means, okay, you have this material for example. That already gives you an information of, okay, let's work the first 10 minutes with this material, and then the next 10 minutes with this material. it always gives you structure. The more variables you have, the more you can structure it. I hope this makes sense. But okay, individual on specific topics was the thing. Okay, any more questions? Anything that is not showing up here in this little list? Always have to go to the second page where Hubert, David, and Danny are. No. Okay. Good. Then let's go into this. And I think we cannot cover everything today. We are just now starting, and then we're continuing the next sessions. I think this makes most sense. Okay, let's bring it in an order, I think, also from... I think the group training, surfing in and out, this is the simplest scenario. Time-oriented, course-oriented is already, yeah, okay. So let's go for this. Good. I actually wanted to draw something. Maybe it's not necessary. We just write it down. Good. So these general settings, Verena, what I told you about this first structure, warm-up, this time, is it already something that is worthwhile to write down?
Oh, clear to me, but I can't speak for the other people.
The more we do it in detail or from scratch, the better it becomes.
Well, then, yeah, I would put it down.
So time frame choose, time frame split, warm up. It takes a time, right? Main dish or emphasis. This is all the old MoveNet things that can be used. Yeah, let's go. Do you have more possibilities on how to completely roughly split or structure a session? MoveNet had a warm up, an emphasis, and a combo. This was the classic MoveNet session. Any more ideas?
I mean, here we could go from bottom to top. So either starting on the floor and then working our way up until standing. We could also go joint by joint. So ankle, knee, hip, lower back, upper back, shoulders.
You're already a step further. That means you're already into the exercises or into the topic of exercises. Let's say the
yes and no, but also that can help. I can use to structure the session. No.
Right, you're correct. Let's put it here. That means find a word. You were talking about get-ups. You were talking about what
well,
else?
From bottom to top or from floor to standing.
Get up,
which in the end translates into a get up. And then, yeah, sort of joint by joint, starting in the ankle, working the way up.
Rough structures, time frame split, get up. Yes, get up is one possibility. The developmental milestones are possibility. The three cornerstones of the natural development of the human movement restoration is developmental milestones. Sorry, I always need a bit. Talking and writing is not my thing. And natural skill development. Okay, this is the NGM part. Right, rough picture. Okay, let's say medium rough structure, medium rough stuff would be let's go for conditional factors. Mobility, stability, and pattern. Just throw it in here. Okay, because this is, let's say, a fine structure. Something like this. Okay, any more ideas on a rough structure? No? Okay, leave it like that. Maybe you get ideas later. Could be. Medium structure. Conditional factors. I think this would make more sense picking conditional factors as a medium structure than, for example, just lying. Yeah, because putting if it's 15 minutes of just lying, this makes no sense. There is not so much possibilities. Actually, there's a lot of possibilities, but then you have to think about what movements in lying are attractive or digestible or attractive for somebody who has never done it before. Yeah, if you go for supine lying, side rolling, and prone lying, could be interesting for not anybody who is going to the fitness studio, but for people who are already interested in a bit of an alternative thing. For this, maybe you can get their attention. But if you say like just finished. If you say we are just lying on our backs, and now you just go for diaphragmatic breathing, just for reaching, maybe a little body weight shifting. This is also very fine stuff that is not attractive for somebody who seeks fitness, but is necessary and attractive for somebody who seeks relief. This is my experience. Yeah. So this is why I would put something like mobility, which is one aspect, a popular aspect where people already know. They say in the media mobility is important. Then this could be much more attractive, and then you also try to make an attractive program out of it. Okay, any more ideas about a medium structure? What could be a medium structure? Except mobility, stability, pattern.
One question, Bernd.
Yeah.
Where would, if we were doing like foam rolling and then stretching for flexibility, where would that fit? That's one question.
Yeah, that's the part of flexibility. Flexibility could be split into softness, or could be also said as softness. And softness is foam rolling. So this would be the mobility part. And your question, where would the question was also, where would you put it in a session? Yeah, at the beginning, at the warm up, right? Depending on the question, if you have a group or an individual person that is just here for fitness and for a bit of a health effect, then starting with foam rolling makes sense. Just as a warm-up. Foam rolling is not just rolling over muscle. Foam rolling is a lot of supporting yourself. That means that it's a combination already of static holding positions and dynamic foam rolling movement. It's actually a full body warm-up. Foam rolling. You have inverted crawl positions for foam rolling the hamstrings and the calves. You have knee hand positions, foot hand positions, extended foot hand positions for foam rolling of the thighs, whatever. So it's actually fitness training in yourself. This is why I love. I like foam rolling. Okay. If you put it in a setting where there is a specific topic, like again, like a conditional factor or a body part problem. This is something I'm. Let's say conditional factors here, And then we have also the possibility to do body parts here. Yeah. Then, as we were already talking on the Monday sessions, you have the possibility to stretch the whole thing a bit, and that means you are not doing full body foam rolling and then a full body stretch and then a full body mobility and then a full body stability thing, again MSP. This would be a process for a normal group, but you would focus on a specific body part and say, okay, this body part now gets first foam rolled, then it gets stretched, then it gets mobilized on the neighboring joints, then it gets stabilized in the neighboring joints, and then comes the pattern putting everything together. So for a specific body part, for a specific problem, you can throw everything or put everything on this specific topic. Then we are already in the fine structure thing. Okay, body parts. Let's just take the most important ones. Body parts are joints, are muscles, and is fascia. Joints is clear, right? So we cannot roll joints. Joints can be mobilized. Also pure mobilization. Muscles can be foam rolled and stretched. And fascia can be the same. If you have any topics of like, what's the difference between muscles and fascia then? After we treat them both. That's questions that are not on point for today. It could spread again in Burns' lectures, but
might be another nice topic to dedicate 1 or 2 sessions on fascia, because I think it's very important, very interesting, but also massively complex.
Yes, good idea. The topics don't run out. You will see.
I don't think so.
Can we have a topic collector sheet somewhere? I think it would be, yeah. Let's see. Everybody thinks, where's the best place for collected topics for Tuesday evenings?
Can't we do that in Circle, like setting up I don't know how it's called, a post, whatever, and then we...
Yeah, let's do this. Great idea.
Yeah, I open one.
Good. Verena, if you could put it directly into it, please. Then we don't forget it. Nobody has to do homework memories. Okay. Hubert.
Yeah, just maybe for the muscle fascia tema, just maybe a 2-sentence summary, if it's possible.
Yeah, okay, yeah, it is possible. You are currently sharing your screen to everyone. Yeah, okay, good. The most important thing to know is that fascia is everywhere. Fascia is the packaging tissue of our body. And so you have to think about as a packaging thing, and that's the first information. And the second information, it is a structure that is has the character of muscles in a way. Let's say they in the same. You can put them in the same drawer as muscles because they support the body in movement. Yeah, but the difference is that muscles are consciously actively activatable, let's say, and fascia can also be consciously activated, but they are more passive. Yeah, the muscles activate. You activate your muscles, and let's say the muscles activate the fascia. And the big difference that muscles are contractile elements, they contract willfully or involuntarily, and fascia don't contract. Fascia just expand and they are elastic. In a good way to say it, that muscles are very energy extensive, very, very expensive. And fascia are almost need no energy. And a very good example is wherever you look at the body, where fascia is, the fascia that is like a plate and several millimeters thick, is where the most holding or static tension is needed for keeping the body integer. And this is, for example, the hips. The tensor fascia latae it has a muscle part, and the rest is pure fascia. And the logic in evolution is when this organism getting into a stage where it needs its functional parts different, we check, can we save some energy? And if energy can be saved, it means this evolutionary affordance is not longer necessary for being active contractile, but just passive stabilizing. Then your organism can build within months or years muscle tissue into fascia tissue, or back fascia tissue into muscle tissue, depending on the affordance. And the only scientific study I know about is they looked at rodeo riders' adductor muscles. And they found out that the rodeo riders who professionally have to clinch to the bull and pressing the legs against its trunk, reconstruct the adductorial muscles into adductorial fascia. Because your body always thinks about, why should I put in energy on muscles if I can rebuild it into fascia and save a lot of energy? Okay, so that's the first layer. I think that's already more than 2 sentences, but sorry, I'm not ChatGPT. Good. Let's go on here. Body parts, medium structure. Anything to add? Anybody an idea? We can just leave it like this and go on to the next one. Let's go for the fine structure as much as we find out. So specific topics, we have again, like this whole stuff, right? This could be all topics of a specific person or a specific group. Yeah, am I right? Anybody with something against it? So most groups nowadays do cardiovascular training, the classic step aerobic class. Others do just muscle training, like Les Mills iron pump or stuff. So classes are classically put into body parts, like spine class, like this civilatory main problems, like the trendy coordinate, the trendy conditional thing. Yeah, right now it's VO2 max and mobility and strength. This is how normal classes work. Let's say just superficially. Anything else? Okay, we don't go into martial arts classes now. No BJJ. That's different. That's movement. But the normal class settings are mostly for a specific conditional factor. And that's already a fine structure in movement. For them, it's normal. Another possibility for fine structure could be coordination. For people who are getting into the direction of getting old. coordination would be something. And then we can go into something like fall prevention. There's no course out there. I've never seen a course on fall prevention except one US guy who was traveling through the United States with a big mat, a gymnastic mat, and then there were about 170 to 80 people around him. With him, everybody had his elastic mat with them, and then they were doing about 60 minutes just crashing onto the mat. There was no technical instruction. It was just about crashing into the mat. Start soft and then see how hard you can take it. And this was the only class I ever experienced on falling prevention. Good. So very, very special wishes. Okay. Okay, we can leave it like that, I think. Yeah, go on, please. You can always.
Can balance be a part of the fine structure?
Yeah, definitely. That would be part of stability. Yeah, good. This brings. Throw this stuff in. And I can just structure it into the whole big picture, and then it gets filled up with everything we need or want. Balance is stability, actually. Or okay, medium. Let's put it in here. Okay, there comes the idea of skills, right? So maybe I've never seen a class on sitting or a class on kneeling. I think this makes no sense. But a class on crawling, a class on walking, a class on balancing. That's again, let's say, medium structure. Doesn't want me to go back here. Wherever. Okay. Medium structure, body parts, skills or techniques. Okay. Walking, crawling would still be put into this category. Even if I've thrown it out from the natural skill development part because it does not fit into the real skills. But as it's a bit of a compromise, it is a ground movement, but it is also that complex or that important and that connected to higher skills that you can also see the skills. It's a bit of a hype. It's a nice connection skill between the ground and the two biped. Biped means it would also be very good for just session on crawling. Yeah, but then we have all the other walking that comes into here. Right. Where are the points? Oh my God. Yeah, it's 10 people watching me writing down something. This is a horror. Like a teacher on the overhead. Some can remember the times of overhead in the schools. Good. Okay. I again ask you anything you would like to add here into this rough structure. The rough structure is really about the whole system and the environment. Medium structure is about the parts that can be attractive as a topic of your class, for example. And fine structure then is also topic of class, but with specific topics, with very specific topics: injury prevention, rehabilitation, preparation of a specific skill or competition. This would be fine structure stuff. Okay, good that far. Then let's keep it like this. Just for me, like a bit of a easier to read. Good. Then let's go into planning of the rough structure. Is it okay for you when we start with the rough stuff planning before we go into the fine stuff? So for people surfing in and out. So this is let's go for this. I think that's one of the simpler questions. So I don't. Somebody says this is a super big problem for me, and then comes Bert and says this is a simpler problem. Sorry about that. This is not very tactful, but yeah, this happens. Good. That means you have your in Munich, for example, we had 3 different parks with 3 different possibilities. Then I know if I have a big group and I have the possibility to switch the park shorthand, then I would say take the big group to where the most place or the most possibilities are. If it's a small group, you may find everything. Then you need to know: do I have just an open space, nothing else? Or do I have something like a park where there's sitting possibilities and there is maybe a branch with a tree with one branch on it that's good to hang on? So thinking about the environment and what techniques you can offer there. So as environment can be optimal. Let's say little improvisation necessary because everything is there, or there's an environment where a lot of improvisation is necessary because there's just a flat ground. This could be something. Of improvisation. So should we go into this? Is it of interest, Verena, for example? Or is the part of the question?
I mean, I always improvise.
Yeah, sure. Right.
I was thinking about like due to your message and like what the request is for the certification, but then like applying this to like the real life situation. And I mean, maybe just a little suggestion, probably it would also be kind of a good idea, instead of like programming whatever a 6-week program, rather thinking about, okay, what's most likely going to be your use case, and then kind of das Pferd von da satteln, how we say in German. So like sort of thinking from there, and also like because especially with training outside, you will always face like, okay, you have the perfect environment, whatever, calisthenics park, or you literally have a green field and need to work with that. So that could also be interesting to use that idea. Okay, create a session with a lot of improvisation is needed, and this is whatever the body part that this session should be about, and then create the same with maximum amount of improvisation.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm thinking about if we go through the rough structures now, we are getting deeper and deeper into the fine stuff. And when we're in the fine stuff, then it's much easier to apply it to the fine stuff then. So maybe. What about, because there's just 15 minutes left and I don't want to hold you longer. What about if we are going through the rough stuff now? Then maybe everybody who has time or informations takes this document. I will share it with everybody and add in as much as you want, as much as you like on questions. I will take a look at it. I will structure it until next Tuesday. And next Tuesday, we hopefully, or maybe then we just get an overview over the rough structure, and then we start with the fine structure. And then we work ourselves towards the fine structure in the course of, let's say, about 4 or 5 sessions. Or is it too much? Do you want to have this topic gone in 1 or 2 sessions? Or is it important enough to spend a little bit more time on it? I would recommend, let's do 4 sessions on it. And then let's see whether there's an add-on or not. Okay, then let's go on here with a lot of improvisation. You will see it's not a difficult process. So let's say a lot of improvisation. For example, an open space. Just an open space with nothing else. What can you do? Okay, sure, yeah. Ground movements. Let's isolate crawling again. Yeah, let's take everything where there's no context necessary in a realistic way. Yeah, you can climb without context, but you cannot expect this from a normal person.
Jumping.
Yeah. Right. Jumping doesn't need any context. It can be felt anyway. Balancing is also something, but the question is, are the people satisfied if you say, imagine the balancing situation, imagine there's a line on the ground, go in an inline thing.
Well, you could put them on one leg, or
Yeah.
like remembering or the PTP sessions. It already, like, when I sort of not do the whole movement, it already had like a lot of balancing elements in it as well.
Yeah, right. And there's a lot of partner work. Yeah, if there are, it's not just
Awesome.
yeah, if you're two people there's so much more possibilities than if you're just alone. But what in the open field, it's something that you have to think about. Do the people accept this? Because they are normally on the opposite side of stuff. They are overburdened with gadgets and machines and possibilities. And if you come then with this extreme, on the other side, there's nothing. Then they just go crazy. Yeah, it's like
if they do it like a game and play.
Yeah. For example, and there's so much playfulness also. This is a whole topic in itself that we are, Anke, for example, Anke is starting an outdoor group, and it's also something that she doesn't want to be too strict in natural ground movements. This too much, but people want laughter and want fun and want the community feeling. And it means something like a collection of the games or the possibilities to make out of movements than games. This is something that needs to be done from a specific time on later. But this would be part of this. Yeah? Let's just do partner games. It can be part of an open space. Yeah, but okay, balance would be possible. We said crawling. We said something like vaulting is also possible on the ground. But you know, everybody who knows me and did a level 2 certification, I showed you about 5 exercises for front vault on the ground. Yeah, this is great for somebody who knows where the road goes and what he wants. But if you then do front vaulting on the ground with strange people, then they will say, "What is it good for?" Yeah, I don't feel my biceps. I don't feel my triceps. I just felt off. I almost smashed my nose. Your class is completely off topic for me. Something like this. So we can make a line of make sense, make no sense, but in the end you have to check the people, and then dare to introduce stuff. So yeah, running,
Get up and transitions and stuff.
walking.
Like doing
Hubert again.
what about get ups and transitions, like from sitting to standing to kneeling to.
Right. So it would be ground movements. Let's say. I know I also got a problem with the terms. Let's say natural ground movements is just a position transition stuff, also including the developmental milestones. Get up and down is something a bit in its whole sphere, because it is summing up the whole ground movement and get up part, and is adding on the falling stuff as well as the very athletic stuff like dive rolls and landing from heights. This is something different. And then we have the natural skill development. And this is then exceptionally the crawling, but all the rest here.
Throwing and catching.
Throwing and catching. So it also means, do you have little stuff that you can take with you, like whatever, just a bag with balls, whatever. There's also the possibility of do I come by car? I was always with my car. I had my beams in the car. I had my lifting bags in the car. I had some throwing balls in my car. And then you can have your open space and all busy for half a year. That's also something. How much material can you bring with you? It's zero material, something like tennis balls or whatever little wooden pieces.
I think it's also then, but okay, that's probably then going to lots of improvisation. So it works just checking what is there. So whatever, are there some rocks I can utilize, or I don't know. There's always something lying around.
Objects, place. This is what we did in the combatives thing with Vic. Yeah, you have this room. Now look for weapons. Look, what can you use as a weapon from the stuff lying around? People were looking, and the most convenient was your mobile phone. Yeah, take the mobile phone into your hand. Yeah, and then think about just put it on your lower arm, and how painful is it? A mobile is an unbelievable weapon, and this is just you need to get an eye on what can be used for what, and then you're again in the hunter-gatherer atmosphere. You can always make a plan with people. We do a warm-up, hunter-gatherer, everybody is spreading out and find some stuff we can do some training with. Can be the half of your class. Okay, little improvisation. So we have, let's say, some benches standing around, some bars. Like in Berlin, it's a redundant train station. So there's a lot of big blocks where they cured the rails back then.
I mean, for the bikes.
Yeah, rocks, sticks, whatever is also open for add-on. Good rough structure, little improvisation. Okay, should we go into this detail, or should we stop before we go into any detail? I think it would be the most important, or the most handy thing would be that we leave it like this, and you put stuff in you can think about, and next time we start after I reviewed it into the summing it up, and then getting into the medium structure. I think it makes no sense to talk now into medium structure and then stop in the middle. I think that's already quite a lot of collection of stuff. Maybe you have some proposals, some ideas already that I can add, or for the whole structure of this discussion. No. Okay, good. Good. So for another perspective, I actually thought we are going for the principle or the approaches of MSC and joint care stuff. But this looks now that we get there when we are in the fine structure thing. Yeah, so it will take I think 2 to 3 sessions, or the last sessions will be then in the fine structure, where we talk about how do I address a person that has a knee problem, for example. What kind of exercises, where do I get the exercises, how do I structure the exercises, and so on. This will be then part of about the end of this topic. Okay?
There's also maybe a little bit like in regards to the fine structure. Okay, I have a group class, but there's one person with a knee problem. The other person, I don't know, has a different joint issue or whatever sort of issue. How I can have exercises and then they all do the same exercise, but your focus is this, your focus is this, and maybe you choose the regression of this exercise. So like
Okay.
sort of have the same exercise, but still options for individualization without sort of excluding people.
Right. Okay. This would be part of the medium structure, because if you say you have now this class, whatever topic it is normally, and now this one person has a specific problem, then you actually need to stay in the topic of the class. Let's say it's balancing, and this person cannot balance on the stuff you brought with. And then how you improvise this would be the question, right? And this is then the question on the variations of specific techniques. This is what we're talking about, and this is what I really would like to build up slowly. That we have one technique, we have one skill like balancing, we have techniques that is forward balancing, backward balancing, that is pivoting, that is level change. That would be variations of a technique, for example. And then even if you have somebody has a problem in one of these variations, you may be able to add on something that is suitable for this person. Even if you say you cannot balance at all, but maybe you can help somebody balance while before you just stand on the side and can do nothing, you're playing the branch where somebody can hold yourself onto you. Would also be something like finding an alternative for somebody who is completely not able to do this exercise. So everything before sending him home, or he turns around and goes, or he's sitting there and thinks about shit, nobody takes care of him. There are different possibilities. Okay, interesting. Very, very good. Especially after I've written 2 times programming in Module 3 and Module 5. Nobody ever have seen it. And now we do it from scratch with everybody into all the details, hopefully.
I think it's super helpful because in the end, programming will be the execution of all the things that we are learning. And
Right.
therefore, I think it makes sense to put some effort and knowledge into it, but also like sort of group discussion, ideas exchange, like especially when it comes to the playfulness part and to the improvisation part. I think we can all learn and benefit from each other's ideas.
Yeah, definitely. Even if it's still a bit the coaching level that makes it necessary, but if we have trainers here then and they hear about this, as long as they are not overwhelmed by the possibilities, but always say, oh, okay, this is great. I'm looking forward to apply this stuff. Then I think we're on the right track. Good. Okay, fine. Point landing. Good plan for the next things and for the next sessions, and then wish you a wonderful evening and see you as soon as possible. Yep.
Cheers.